You're in your 50s. You sit down, log into your bank account, and you do the mental math. And suddenly, your stomach drops 20 floors. That number isn't a glitch in the system. If you are Generation X, you are staring down an average retirement shortfall of over $404,000. And let's not pretend this is just about poor planning. The reality is, the math of everyday survival has fundamentally broken. You can't fund a future retirement when you barely have enough money to live on right now. You've been told your whole life that if you just skip your daily coffee run and put that $5 into an index fund, compound interest will save you. But here is the cold truth, the mathematical reality that financial advisors don't want to say out loud. When your time horizon to retirement is only 5 to 10 years, compound interest doesn't have enough compounding cycles left to actually bail you out. Frugality alone is mathematically inadequate. So you realize you need extra income. You need a side hustle. But the moment you search for one, you're bombarded with the gig economy, driving strangers around at 2 a.m., delivering lukewarm fast food for tips. Trading your physical health and a depreciating vehicle for nominal hourly wages fails the fundamental requirement of late-stage wealth building. You don't have time to grind for pennies. You need high-leverage revenue. You need to monetize your decades of intellectual capital, not your physical labor. In this video, we are going to walk through 5 high-leverage side hustles that actually work in 2026 for professionals over 50. Whether you spent 30 years in a corporate office, worked with your hands, or managed a chaotic household, I've got you covered. No fluff, no get-rich-quick nonsense, just a practical blueprint to turn your experience into leverage. Before I tell you what to do, I need to protect you from what not to do. The internet is littered with side hustle traps designed to steal your time, the one asset you cannot afford to waste right now. Trap number 1, online surveys. They are marketed as easy money from your couch. Here's the reality. You will spend 20 minutes answering invasive demographic questions only to be told you don't qualify for the $2 payout. When you factor in the time spent trying to qualify, your true hourly yield often plummets to below $1 an hour. I don't care how comfortable your couch is, you are worth more than $1 an hour. Trap number 2, basic data entry. If you have 8 years of data entry experience, I have some bad news. The bots beat you. Artificial intelligence and robotic process automation, or RPA, have largely eradicated this field. The software doesn't need coffee breaks. The few human data entry tasks remaining have been pushed to global wage arbitrage markets, compressing pay to a dismal $1 to $2 per hour. It's a dead end. Trap number 3, generic print on demand. The days of uploading a basic text design to a t-shirt and waking up to passive income on Etsy are over. The market is violently saturated. Ad costs are up, print costs are up, and it has become a race to the bottom on price. If you want to build a real e-commerce brand, that's a full-time business, not a side hustle. These hustles fail because they require zero barrier to entry. If a teenager with an iPhone can do it, or a line of code can do it, the market value approaches zero. As a professional over 50, your competitive advantage is not your speed. It is your judgment. It is your experience. It is the 30 years you spent learning how businesses actually operate, how humans communicate, and how to solve complex problems. You have intellectual capital. It is time to sell it. Let's talk about our first high-leverage strategy for those of you coming out of the corporate world. Fractional leadership. Right now, in 2026, thousands of growing companies and startups are facing a dilemma. They need seasoned executive leadership, a chief operating officer, a chief marketing officer, or a senior project manager, but they absolutely cannot afford a $300,000 salary, benefits, and an equity package. They need the brain, but they don't want to buy the whole suit. Enter the fractional executive. Fractional consulting is where you offer high-level guidance on a part-time basis to multiple clients. You aren't a freelancer waiting for an assignment. You are an embedded leader driving strategy for 10 to 15 hours a week per client. According to 2026 data, a fractional COO typically costs a company between $3,000 and $15,000 a month, depending on the scope. Paying you $5,000 a month for your strategic oversight is a massive bargain compared to a full-time hire. Platforms like Fractional or TopTool are actively connecting startups with experienced professionals. You set your boundaries, you leverage your decades of corporate survival, you dictate the terms. Strategy number 2, advisory bookkeeping. Now wait a minute, didn't I just say data entry is dead? Yes, I did, but strategic bookkeeping is not data entry. If your plan is to just categorize receipts into QuickBooks, AI is going to eat your lunch. But here is the reality of small business in 2026. Entrepreneurs are messy. They mix personal and business expenses. They use software incorrectly and create absolute financial chaos. A bot can categorize a transaction, but a bot cannot sit on a Zoom call with a panicked bakery owner and explain why they are profitable on paper but have zero cash in the bank. There is a massive market for professionals who can clean up messy books, ensure compliance, and translate numbers into plain English. Take a case study from our research. A woman named Sharon. She started her bookkeeping business after 50. She replaced her former 40-hour-a-week income by working just 4 to 6 hours a week on actual client work. Why? Because she doesn't charge by the hour. She charges for the outcome. Small businesses gladly pay a fixed retainer of $500 to $1,000 a month for someone they can trust to keep the IRS off their back. Strategy number 3, enterprise technical writing. When ChatGPT and AI tools hit the mainstream, everyone declared the writing profession dead. And for low-end commodity blog posts, they were right. The bottom of the market evaporated. But a funny thing happened. As AI flooded the internet with generic garbage, the demand and rates for highly skilled, complex technical writing actually went up. Companies building complex software, medical devices, or financial products cannot rely on an AI hallucinating its way through an instruction manual or a compliance document. The legal liability is too high. They need adults in the room. They need people who can take complex, highly regulated information and turn it into clear, concise documentation. Standard operating procedures, API documentation, regulatory compliance guides. Technical writers who establish themselves as a legal and operational firewall for their clients are charging project rates that easily translate to $100 an hour or more. If you have a background in engineering, IT, healthcare, or law, your ability to write clearly is a premium asset. Now, I can hear some of you through the screen right now. Frank, I didn't spend 30 years in a corner office. I didn't work in tech. I worked with my hands. Okay, let's talk about monetizing that. Strategy number 4, trade estimating and project management. If you spent 3 decades as a general contractor, a plumber, an electrician, or running a landscaping business, your physical body might be telling you it is time to slow down, but your brain holds a highly monetizable database of pricing, materials, suppliers, and project timelines. Younger contractors out in the field are busy swinging hammers. They are terrible at paperwork. They hate dealing with permits, and they are notoriously bad at writing accurate, profitable bids. There is a massive, underserved market for experienced tradespeople who can look at a set of plans, run the numbers, and produce professional estimates and project schedules. You can do this entirely remotely using specialized construction estimating software. You are trading your wrench for a laptop, keeping the high-leverage 1099 income and saving your knees. Strategy number 5, specialized virtual assisting. This is for those of you who might have spent years managing a household, juggling a chaotic family schedule, or working the floor in retail or hospitality. You might not have a corporate resume, but you have a masterclass in operations and conflict resolution. I am not talking about being a digital secretary who books flights for $5 an hour. I'm talking about becoming an indispensable operational hub for small online businesses and creators. Here's the truth. Most solo entrepreneurs and digital creators are brilliantly creative, but operationally disastrous. They are drowning in unread emails, broken onboarding systems, and disorganized content calendars. They need a calm, cool, and collected wise elder in the room. Our research on freelance rates in 2026 shows that a skilled digital marketing assistant, someone who can jump into a business, organize the chaos, set up simple software automations, and manage client communications, easily commands $40 to $50 an hour. Your life experience managing chaos translates directly into managing a chaotic entrepreneur. I know making the jump into one of these high-leverage roles might sound a bit intimidating, but the truth is, you already did the hard part. You didn't just survive 3 decades in the workforce, you collected data. With age comes a level of pattern recognition, operational wisdom, and a very low tolerance for bullshit that younger generations simply cannot fake. You have the intellectual capital. The barriers to entry for these specialized high-leverage businesses, fractional work, advisory bookkeeping, technical writing, estimating, or specialized assisting, are incredibly low. You do not need to go back to school for an expensive degree. You already have the knowledge. You just need to structure it, market it, and price it for your worth. As the old adage goes, the best time to start was a year ago. The second best time is today. You are not behind. You are just entering a new phase of leverage. If this breakdown helped you see the opportunity clearly, subscribe to the channel. We don't do hype here. We do the numbers. I'll see you in the next video.